So we all have these scripts in our lives that are imposed by our parents, our school, our culture, our religion, what we think we should have done or
Yes.
might do.
Yes.
How do we overcome that?
Well, the thing with the script is the script will try and trick you. So it tries to say, this is who I am. And it's not, you know. If you think when you were a child, you didn't have a preconception of other people, you didn't judge other people, there was no judgment. You were you in your purest form. So it's your conditioning. And people think that this conditioning becomes their personality. But it's not. You in your pure essence is your personality. Yes, we have life experiences, but the script will always take the negative. And how do you know you're in your script? Well, your script will say things like, yes, but. You know, I want to be an artist, and I'm going to give up work, and somehow I'll make
But people will ridicule me.
Yeah. And
I won't make enough money.
yes.
No.
And that's your script. And then people will say, well, I can't become an artist because I've got no confidence. But you have, because you're a great artist. That's your talent, that's your passion. And if you can separate your script and say, yeah, I totally get this is my script telling me not to do this, but I don't have to listen to you. You know, you're a negative voice in my head, but you're not my voice. You're just the voice of my conditioning. Could be the teacher at school, could be the person who bullied you, could be your oppressive parents, whatever. You know, we've all got our life story.
Yes.
And here's another thing. As human beings, things happen to you. I mean, I've got a chronic kidney disease and blood disease, which killed me at one point. You know, I was lying there on the slab, dead as a dodo, and luckily came back to life. Now, most people I see who suffer from similar things take on the identity of their illness. So, I'm a cancer victim, or I'm a victim of kidney disease. But you are not your illness. Your illness is something that happened to you. A traumatic event in your life that happened when you were a child, maybe you were bullied or abused. That's not who you are. It's something that happened to you. We attach the meaning, and then we take on the personality of the meaning. So you can spend your whole life saying, well, I was a victim of abuse. Well, the abuse isn't happening to you now, but you're carrying the feelings with you. But you can separate, because you're not being abused now.
Okay, so the question I have,
Yes.
when we analyze the careers of many great people,
Yes.
somebody abused them, insulted them,
Or-
demeaned them,
Yeah.
and they spent their careers becoming great,
Yes.
like an oyster with a pearl.
Yes. Because they've looked at their true self. You know, the things that happen to you aren't you. They're things that happen to you. And we draw on great experience, and we say, you know, that trip around the world, you know, showed me other cultures. But you are not the trip. It's something that happened to you. Just as, you know, I was bullied at school. I'm not a bullied person. I was just someone who got bullied.
Oh, but you became a brilliant principal.
Apparently. Yeah.
But you rewrote the script. You turned it into
because
something
I
else.
know that my script is not me. It's something that happened to me. It doesn't define who I am. It's just things that happen.
And yet it played a role in your life.
Absolutely. And you learn by it. But you know, you can either learn to carry it with you, or you learn just not to listen to it. And be aware of it. It will never go away. I can't go back and unbully myself, but I can undo the meaning I attach to the bullying.
But you can build on these things.
Absolutely. Completely. And we spend so much time attaching meaning. And if you look at what happened when I was bullied, let's say, a guy punched me on the bus. Anything else outside of that is my interpretation. And 4 people on the bus would have their own interpretation. They might have said, well, maybe he deserved to be punched. You know, we will all have we attach meaning, you know, and it's very interesting when you look at world events and you look at a lawyer saying, well, you know, there was an incident back not long ago where the MP that got killed. Very tragic and very sad. But the lawyer summed it up perfectly. A man stabbed the MP. Everything else that we attach to that story is our meaning and our interpretation. And invariably, the script will say, well, let's attach negative influences to that story. So, well, it's not safe to go out in the streets anymore, and so on and so on. So we expand on it, and that's how events in your lives. When I nearly died of a disease, I nearly died of a disease. Everything else, how it felt, is my interpretation. And if I can separate the feeling, I just sit here today thankful that, well, I'm not nearly dying in a hospital bed now. I don't attach any other meaning to it.
So it's not a curse, it's not a blessing, it just is.
Yeah, absolutely. We attach the meaning of curse or blessing. And, if you want to attach, well, it's a blessing. I mean, that's what I do. I say, I can't change I nearly died, but it's the most important thing that happened to me because it made me wake up.
From nearly alive to
being alive.
Yes.
And I remember lying on the hospital bed and looking, the only possession I had was my watch sitting on the side, and it's a nice watch, it's a present, and but that valuable watch, the value of that watch wasn't going to change my life. It wasn't going to help me live. It's a nice thing to have, but so many people attach, well, I've got to own this and I've got to have the big car, the big house. They're not going to help you when you're lying in a hospital bed and you've got 10 hours to live. And the other experience I had was lots of people who were nearly dying at night time, sort of shouting out in the night saying, oh, if only I'd forgiven my ex-wife or my children. And suddenly people think, it's time to die, but it's also time to live. It's too late by then. And one of the things I try to do in my life is say to people, I'm one of the lucky ones because I got that wake-up call, and it's nothing to do with religion, or it's just about your way of life. And here's the message: is please don't wait until you're nearly dying to want to start living. You can start now.
So you inspire thousands of teachers that come to
well, not
Canterbury,
me,
your team
of trainers, and I mean, I think the important thing of Pilgrims is we're not just looking at the doing of teaching, which we're at the RTF conference. There's so much about doing, the techniques. What we look at is also who are you being as a teacher, because your being defines the way you teach.
So, in a couple of words, who should you be as a teacher? This is a script, but okay.
Who you deserve to be. If you want to have
you should be the teacher that you deserve to be.
Yeah, you deserve to feel good. If you want your kids to feel motivated in a class, all the techniques in the world about creativity, they're not going to help you if you walk in and go, oh, well, hello, children, oh, it's Monday morning, and let's be really motivated today. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
And who you're being is who the children connect to. They don't connect to the course book. They don't connect to the ideas and whatever the gurus say. They only connect. They're buying into you and trusting you. Mm-hmm. And if you can't show them that you're there for them, there's a disconnect. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the biggest barrier between the student and the teacher is the student-teacher relationship, because they're sitting there saying, all right, you're the teacher, fill me up. Well, if you look at the original Latin of education, which comes from educar, it's to withdraw. It's not to fill up with knowledge, it's to take the knowledge out, work with what they've got, inspire them. We don't use the word students. We say to them, why don't you become researchers in the language? Why,
Yes.
Go and research the language, enjoy the language, collect the words. We always say, you like collecting, stamps or like me, CDs and music. If you can get joy in collecting music, why not get joy in collecting more language? It's a beautiful journey, of knowledge. But it's not the teacher's job to fill you up. It's just to say, look, open the door, and it's up to them.
Speak, write.
Yeah, and
Express yourself in English.
yeah, and the traditional teacher now is not a teacher, it's a facilitator for learning. All the knowledge you need, you can get on your hand, your mobile, and type in, how do I find out how many miles it is to Pluto or whatever. You don't need someone to teach that. But what you do with that information and how you organise it and how you access it, surely the job of the teacher is to give people a hunger for the knowledge, not to provide the knowledge, the inspiration.
Yeah. So, last question. People talk at TED, and people will see this video,
Okay.
and they'll say, wow, Jim is right, I have to start living my life now. And they're not going to. But when I meet you in person,
Yeah.
then I am inspired. What
Yeah.
is this all about? Why do I have to meet you and touch you?
Because you have to live what you say, and it's about being a brand, and we might look at how we sophisticated get our brand across as an organisation, but people buy into your personal brand, and if you're into transformation, inspiration, if you can't transform and inspire yourself, it ain't gonna work. You can't just turn it on for one talk and then go home and go, well, you know what, I'm really happy with my lot, and I'll think about the next talk. You gotta, each day is a new opportunity to be better, and it's not about being better than anyone else, it's about being better than the day before. If you had a great day today, why can't you have an amazing day? Why can't you say, next week I'm going to have an amazing week? Because I can create it. And bad things will happen, but it's how you deal with the bad things that makes them bad or good.
It's also a call.
Yeah, and the problem is, you have to work at this stuff. You as a person have to take responsibility. And so many of these courses say, well, here's the idea, go firewalking, put a balloon with all your problems and it flies away. That's great, nothing wrong in that. But if you don't work at it the next day, it's just a problem that's flown away on a balloon.
Yeah.
And yes, you walk the coals, but if you get depressed because, your car's broken down, what's the use of that? So you got to look and you say, here's a simple thing. Every day, without fail, you either have a shave if you're a guy, or you brush your teeth. We all know you brush your teeth. Why do you brush your teeth? Because if you don't brush your teeth, people won't like you because you've got bad breath and your teeth will fall out eventually. Now, if we can spend 2 minutes a day doing a chore without thinking, now why can't you use that time to think about what am I going to do today?
What amazing day am I going to have?
Yeah.
While I brush my teeth.
Yeah, why not? It's part of the daily routine.
Well, this is the Jim Mel combo.
Absolutely.
Brush your teeth and imagine your wonderful day.
Yeah, and brush all the crap away, all the crap thoughts.
Nice.
Why not? So we do. That's a conditioning we have. So,
I've heard of many uses for a toothbrush.
yes.
This is a brand new one.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? If we're conditioned to do certain things to our body so it's in a good condition, but we're never conditioned to what we're thinking and how we're feeling. And a lot of personal development is about thinking, but it's about feeling. Emotional intelligence. How can emotion be an intelligence? It's a feeling. It's not an intelligence. It's an awareness, of course, but it's feeling. If your day feels bad, who's responsible? Well, you are. Bad things can happen. I've had bad things happen to me. I've still had a great day. Because you are not your day. You are not the bad stuff that happens to you. It's stuff that happens to you. And so many people go, I had a bad argument, so that's my day's ruined. Well, guess who ruined it? Not the person you had the argument with. You ruined your day. And if you take responsibility, say, no matter what, I deserve a great day today. Guess what you're going to have?
I'm alive. I deserve a great day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you've just made my day greater. Thank you, Jim
And
Wright,
likewise.
principal of the Pilgrims and a supreme human being. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.